Sports Talk Nation. Welcome back once again. It's your host, the G-Man, as we continue with our 2016 team-by-team fantasy preview. Today we're going to talk about those Tennessee Titans. And while they have some young talent, they're not exactly a bevy of offensive options from a fantasy perspective. So, start at the quarterback position. Marcus Mariota, he is a guy who will probably finish with numbers that are close to that top 12 area. But I think because they are going to be largely affected by his ability to run the ball and touchdowns running, that he is a risky guy to take as your number one. He's probably a real good guy with the right matchup. So as a number two, if you've checked your starters the week off and he has a matchup against a team he's going to be able to run a little bit against, I'd probably take a shot on Mariota as a number two. So probably in that 15 to 18 range of quarterbacks. Running backs, they have DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. I expect both to get carries, but I think if they have their druthers, they're going to give the ball to DeMarco Murray 250 times. I think he's still a 1,000-yard running back. I think he was in a bad situation in Philadelphia. I'm an Eagles fan. I think that coach screwed up so many things with his pace and forcing players to do things they weren't comfortable with. I think Murray had a down year also because he had so many carries the year before, but I don't think he's done. I don't think he's a shot horse. So let's say 1,000 to 1,100 yards for Murray. I think he's good for 6 to 8 touchdowns as well. So he's probably in that number two running back perspective, hurt a little bit by the fact that he doesn't have he's not a great pass catcher. He'll catch some swing passes, but he's not real dynamic. So it doesn't help him that much. Derrick Henry, I think probably a lottery ticket, a decent handcuff for DeMarco Murray, because I think they won't change their offense very much if Murray gets hurt. They're going to give the ball to Henry quite a bit. And I think he can deliver. So I would actually, even though Murray's not a number one running back, I would probably handcuff him with Henry if I got that opportunity. Wide receiver, it's a wasteland. I wouldn't touch it. I guess Kendall Wright actually has some value as a PPR player, but I've had him in non-PPRs many years, and he's consistently average to below average. I mean, he's probably a low-end number 3 receiver. Dorial Green-Beckham has all the talent in the world. If he can pull it together, he could eventually be a number 1 receiver. But this year, I'd say he's a 4-5 at best. He'll have the occasional big game that makes your jaw drop, but he's going to hurt you more times than help you. Harry Douglas is your classic bye-week injury replacement. I wouldn't have him on my roster to start the year. Delanie Walker is quietly, clearly a number 1 tight end. He's not in the Gronk category, but he's probably in that 5 to 10 range of tight ends. You could do a lot worse, and he is ultra consistent. Doesn't catch a ton of touchdowns, but he's going to catch you 6 balls for 65 yards every single week. Defensively, I think Tennessee is a much better actual team defense than they are a team defense for fantasy. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to have a lot of sacks and that sort of thing, but they're going to keep the points down. But I'd probably let somebody else draft them, use them as a bye-week replacement from a fantasy perspective. So with your 2016 fantasy preview of the Tennessee Titans, I'm your host, the G-Man, and I am out.